gold. Cloud9 won in the first one with it, and Dignitas overcame an even bigger gold lead in the second one to win through some team fights. So all comes down to how you do perform in these fights around the Dragons. Can't be just giving them up. Got to be there on time.
Yep.
Good setup. Ziggs ban here right off the bat from Dignitas. So we don't need the LeBlanc ban again, probably from them. What else can they target? Gives them a little leeway here. You could further target bot lane. And bot lane's starting to get whittled down here since the all the real premier ones are out. So now we're down like towards the Corki area of AD carries and stuff. And see what we end up going with here. I also like when Nautilus lanes start looking real good, when some of the enchanters are out here, some of the better enchanters start getting taken off the board. Because I don't know, I just like the pace when we get the engage supports some play time as well.
I like Nautilus because he dies a lot. So generally the game is going to have more entertainment with Nautilus in it than without Nautilus in it.
Are Dignitas signaling a Vi-Ari combination here with the early Vi pick? They're definitely going with the hard engage. So that dive comp might be, a Kai'Sa angle for Dignitas. Again, it's really early in drafts, but already when you have Vi, you have some really good point and click, guaranteed engage. So some sorts of Kai'Sa comps on their side do tend to look good. Meanwhile, Cloud9 build a Jinx reset possibility here. Never mind, they're just sifting through all the options.
Yeah,
they're weighing their options here.
Baiting us. We're just gonna get Corki.
We are in the Corki area, true.
Wait, Corki's win-loss is 6 and 7, and he has a 69% presence. He did both numbers.
It's the meme upon meme.
Both meme numbers. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's some kind of omen.
I don't think it's a good thing.
I just don't know what kind of an omen it is.
All right. Well, so we are in the Corki tier. Let's see what else we got. Sejuani was pretty early here for C9 too. So does that mean we get like well, Thanatos actually can have full counter pick as well.
Yep. C9 going for the last pick in this draft will afford them that opportunity if they want to save it all the way down there at the end of things. Xayah Rakan locked in as the bottom lane duo here for FBI and Ignar.
Okay, so we slammed the Cassio early for APA, and then you get 2 protection bans here as well. So don't really have to worry about Rise. Man, Xayah Rakan though, that is kind of hard to deal with sometimes.
Yeah.
Split engage. But I'm thinking like Thanatos, maybe like Renekton or something, pairs with the Sejuani quite well. But since they slammed their mid already, then they could just give them a little bit of extra time. The Anivia is their preferred protection ban first for the Cassio.
I really like Cassiopeia into Vi and Rakan because both of them want to go in, and she can just puke on the floor and make it really hard for them to do their job. I really do like this pick. Yeah. The miasma is super strong.
Yeah. Okay, so they're thinking the Renekton also. So Dignitas with the Renekton ban. I mean, the Gnar, he also really likes the Gnar, but it doesn't pair as well with the Sejuani that they showed really early. So Dignitas less worried about that one.
All right, one more ban to go. Second protection ban for mid lane. The Syndra banned out by C9.
Okay. I mean, I can see some worlds where you get some Syndra burst combos. By Syndra.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Pretty big damage there. A little bit worried about that one, but not super heavily. What else are we going to do up here? Okay. So maybe Photon thinking he's going to grab a tank. Or they're just taking out some of Thanatos' favorite champions. But maybe it is a Photon tank angle up there. So banning out the Gwen.
Well, I fully expect C9 to go with their support pick here. They already know what the lane matchup is going to be. They elected to go for last pick, so you really want to get some value out of that very last choice. So the Alistar going to be locked in here for Vulcan. It's not Nautilus, but it's still engaged.
It is engaged. It's also an ultimate for Silas, this deal.
Okay.
That's what Palafox was thinking already. Instant hover after he sees the slam on it, but kind of annoying to do that into a Cassio. Said the miasma's annoying already, so definitely would be rough for him too. I guess they're still discussing it a while, and they'll grab the tank first for Photon that we're kind of looking at with the Gwen ban. I mean, building up a really nice 5-on-5 comp here for Dig. Again, so many. I mean, these games have been who's going to win the fights around Dragon, who's gonna be able to stack these dragons. So get yourself a Xayah Rakan to build around and a very beefy front line.
Yep.
Is this Gnar just a shout out to the Thanatos Gnar that we're talking about?
Probably, I would expect.
And there you go. Round out the team comp with a nice control mage, good range, good scaling.
Yep.
There we go. Instantly slam the expected Gnar, and we're going to have a pretty fair fight here in game number 3 to determine the final result of this series.
Yeah, both of these squads look like they will be happy to have those bottom side river team fights around these dragons that have been so important in both games thus far. I just had producers get in my ear and tell me that if Dignitas wins this game, it will be the first time they've beaten C9 in a series since summer of 2017.
2017!
That was the first year that I was a professional commentator.
That was pre-COVID. Holy moly.
Yeah, that is that long ago. It has been over 3,000 days since Dignitas has beaten C9 in a series.
Who's ready for history? Who's here,
It
chat?
would be absolutely crazy for Dignitas to pull that off. And it's not like Dignitas, I mean, we were even talking about it at the start of the day. It's not like this is a team that can't get any wins versus anybody. They've put up individual game wins against some of the toughest competitors in the league. They just haven't been able to get it across the finish line and win a full series. So if they could be the first ones to put a loss on Cloud9's record, that'd be crazy.
It certainly would. Dignitas, do they have it in them? They've got a good team fight. If they can get Xayah and Viktor scaling,
minions have spawned.
Definitely have some good chances. Cloud9 also have, you know, like we said, pretty fair fight here. Pretty good options on their side. And I do think, wait a second, they're wrapping around on Blaber here. Level 1. Okay, nobody going to see him.
He's staying very
Nobody's going to get any early exchanges going on. Just the ward, and Blaber's probably going to assume.
Okay, a little bit of miscoordination there as Vulcan headbutts Dignitas away from the Foss bomb that was in the air from Zven. Gotta get that coordination synced up. FBI pops an early barrier just for the trading. Junglers starting on opposite sides of the map here in this one. Red buff for each of them.
I expect a lot of comp farming flowers.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering.
Yeah, there's probably not going to be a whole lot.
We're gonna build towards the team fights.
I mean, top lane is a Sion, mid lane is Viktor versus Cassiopeia.
Yeah. I mean, bot lane right now, FBI and Ignar, they have full vision of Blaber, so they know exactly the time it's on Sejuani, so they can afford to go for some of these nice trades on bottom side. Vision, of course, for the other side too. Thank you, observers. A little pop up there towards the Raptor camp. And so they know the Vi is also pathing away. So for right now, FBI and Ignar get to go for these trades and harass, and they're getting some good chunks onto Zven and Vulcan, and they're really making good use of their priority on bot lane. But they also know that junglers are completely swapped in their starting locations. Vulcan was trying to headbutt the cannon minion over backwards, and so they just want to make sure that that wave is going to get annihilated, and they get their early reset off here. So all good timings here for FBI and Ignar. They get their push in, they get their early recalls off. They know their jungler pathing to the opposite side of the map, so they can get their reset. Ignar sticks around though. He didn't take the back with FBI, and FBI just picks up his early call, and Ignar still sitting here watching, absorbing some of the you know, he was in range for that melee minion. The first one that had died there. Get a little bit of experience during FBI's recall.
Yep. Vulcan gets a nice quick trade onto Ignar there, but as our laning phase is off to a pretty slow start, we've got Raz standing by for an interview with Dignitas coach Swiffer.
That's right, I got Coach Swiffer with me. You saying a slow game there, but you're liking what you're seeing so far.
Oh yeah, no, I think that the later the game goes, the more favored we are, to be honest. The only questionable thing is the Gnar, like how well can we answer that question? But I think the rest of it, like, we're looking pretty good. We're looking bloody great.
You're looking good. Now, here's the thing. I've been told by the stats man, 3,179 days. Just like since 2017, since Dignitas won a series versus Cloud9. Of course, you're a part of that legacy. So, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think you can do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what the thing is? It's like none of us thought about that going into it, but I bet that the people, like whoever it is at C9, like I think that C9 are thinking about that.
Yeah, they're thinking real
hard.
And
I think that every play that they make that goes against them this game, it's going through their heads that they're about to lose the series, and I think that's really, really scary for them.
Now, you guys were doing exceptionally well in Game 2, and then we panned to the coach's camera. You just weren't there. Where the hell were you?
I was praying. I was in the prayer room, you know. So yeah, I was doing all right. I was just preparing the next draft because I think I was after the 3rd or 4th Drake. I just was like, oh, okay, we've got the game. We can actually win this because the early game looks pretty dire. I'll be honest. But yeah, I was just preparing the next draft.
All right, thanks a ton for that one. As you are continuing to pray, hey, let's see what happens. Casters, take it away.
Thank you very much, Raz and Swiffer. I like the faith to be like, okay, I can go work on the next draft now. We got the dragons. We're chilling.
Yeah, the Dragon Soul and the Elder as well in the last game. Nicely done from Dig, and you know they're remaining calm here. Again, the Viktor and the Xayah, very good. You know, carries to put their money in and feel pretty confident the later the game does go, as we were looking at, and so. Does set them up for some pretty good team fights, and see if we can have a similar story here. Blaber, though, down to an early dragon, drops his control ward in the pit, walked through the control ward that he had towards mid lane as well, so feels pretty good about this one. Bot lane is also pushing right back out.
Yeah, this is a very early dragon. Blaber is really taking it to heart that the dragons have been super important so far in the series.
Yeah, when he had a good opportunity to go solo it up too. They also know that you know, Vi has been pathing the other way, so if you're ever starting out, you know, pathing from bot up towards top for the Vi, then your next full re-clear. Nice little opportunity, even though the crab is up on the top side. Blaber gets the bigger one.
The bigger crab.
The crab with wings?
Yeah, the flying crab. I mean, it's the same color.
Everything's
as the
really
crab.
just a crab, okay?
Yeah, it's all just different versions of crabs. Lizards is crabs, dragons is crabs.
Ooh, does he want to do a Sejuani ult from behind the raptor?
It looks like he's thinking about it, and there it is. Glacial Prison immediately. Blaber flies over the wall, and APA picks up the first blood. It's just that easy.
Good thing we got our interview with Swiffer before.
Yeah.
Feeling a little bit less good now.
Good timing, Raz. Good timing.
After Cloud9 have gotten the dragon and the early assassination on mid lane.
Yeah, this is just about the best start you could ask for Blaber. I have to feel like you take the dragon on spawn, you secure not just the early Drake, but early Ocean Drake. Feels so good for all of your laners. You drive by mid, first ulti instantly rewards you with first blood for your mid laner. Everything's fantastic.
Yeah, especially for all these mid laners, you know, taking the new Deathfire rune to, and you're constantly trading to keep up the burn, and that's gonna definitely benefit the Ocean Dragon team. Slow disengage here. Level 6 does come in for FBI too, so have to be wary of the ulti.
Yep.
And he can just annihilate the wave, get another nice recall for himself. Perks of having the Rakan. Just start it up for you, take care of the minions. Oh, actually he doesn't have a little timer for himself right now. So they are desyncing again. So they send Ignar back for a support timer to use his spell book to return. But Vi is now looking mid with the ult because they just used Viktor.
Yeah, Palafox didn't get a lot of value out of that Arcane Storm. APA's health bar is still 80% full. eXyu's just hanging out on the side of the lane here, but the entire time, Blaber is just farming up his wolf camp, so getting further ahead. eXyu goes in for the full send after APA. Vi ulti already committed. APA still just trying to walk it away. Stays alive for now, but no, APA drops. He
didn't want to flash.
Yeah, he still has his flash. Okay.
He thought he could tank the damage, but they just run him down.
Yeah,
I was Deathfire burning him.
I was honestly expecting the flash there, but Not going to happen. All right, Photon making his way into the river up here, as eXyu did want to start up the grubs, but since Blaber is in the neighborhood, he's going to put a stop to that, take over this objective himself. Grub number 1 already secured. And with Thanatos already forcing the wave into the tier 1 turret up in topside, Photon has to return over to that. So it's pretty difficult for Dignitas to try to do anything about this grub take. So that's going to be both early neutral objectives going C9's way.
All right, well, Blaber pretty happy about that one. And probably not too ecstatic about the death on mid, but I guess you could say Base still has his flash for next time.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out.
Little invade here, and then Spellbook Sejuani pops out the Ignite.
Yeah, nobody expects Sejuani to catch him off guard a little bit. Looks like not really going to have anything else come of it, though. Blaber does leave a ward in this topside tri-brush before taking his recall, going back to base. And Protoplasm Harness completed already. Nice early cheap power spike there for tanky junglers, as Vulcan loses half of his HP in a trade down here in the bottom side. Zven's ready to fire back, though. FBI's got to be respectful. Ignar is covering the retreat of the Xayah, but Vulcan immediately ready to jump in there with the Unbreakable Will. Ignar, defensive quickness just to try to get away.
I mean, Blaber is in the area with Sejuani ult, so you gotta respect that. Your bot lane just gets chunked pretty low. No ulti on Ignar now. Heal used as well.
Yeah.
But eXyu's down here too, just clearing back the other way now, so no threat of the big dive coming through, and we continue our farming ways. Okay. Check in here on the effective use of the new rune of the Deathfire Touch.
All right, what
obviously, since Viktor has more range and easy to tag people with lasers, he is going to be the better users just for this matchup. You're trying to keep the Deathfire Touches up on the enemy champion as long as you can. Get your empowered burn there, and Palafox has been tagging him with a lot of these lasers. It also does help that they got the kill just kind of walking him down.
Yeah.
that was some good Deathfire Touch uptime, but it's over 500 damage. It's 513 damage so far for Viktor's Deathfire Touch, and half of that, just 251 for the Cassiopeia. Again, definitely greatly benefits the extra range and little poke there, but Blaber and the rest of Cloud9 up on the dragon. Here we go.
All right, remember, there's no ulti available for the Rakan, and C9 just dogpile Ignar, kill him before anything can even be said about it from anyone else on Dignitas. C9's going to earn themselves Drake number 2.
There you go. That was APA's flash to follow up on that.
Yeah.
They did the combo CC chain until death. Goodbye, Ignar, and goodbye, Dragon.
Yeah, and you can see the timer on the scoreboard. Only just now is Ignar's ultimate coming back off of cooldown from the earlier play in the bottom lane. So well timed from C9, being able to earn themselves an extra objective, an extra kill, punishing that window. As checking in up here in the top side, Thanatos up, honestly, about 4 waves of farm, feeling pretty good.
Yeah. The Gnar question, again, was one that Swiffer was a little bit worried about. See how well they can answer that. Thanatos, a Gnar specialist.
Yeah.
And definitely very good, especially if you're into a side matchup here. It should be pretty good for him for our side lanes. But everything else farming pretty nicely.
Yep. And you can see Blaber has switched over to the Exhaust on his Summoner Spellbook, so I'm curious if we're going to see any great value come out of that one. You can see quest completed there for him as he cleared out that red buff as well, so feeling pretty good. Again, I mentioned it offhandedly earlier, but Protoplasm Harness, this thing just feels good to build as a tanky jungler. It gives you so much survivability, and it costs about as much as, I don't know, McDouble. It's really cheap.
Yeah, I mean, I love the support items being built by junglers, as you say, so cheap and still extremely effective. Mainly the tank junglers, but oh, here we go, Vulcan.
Yeah, Vulcan with the flash engage, pulverize into the headbutt, knocks FBI back. Zven valking forward, needs a little bit more damage, but can't quite find it. Blaber arrives, throws out the Glacial Prison. Ignar and FBI both surviving with less than half HP remaining, as Palafox also showed up there with a teleport, was immediately exhausted by Blaber as soon as he arrived. And now Thanatos arriving himself, looking for a little bit more. Chases eXyu away, knocks half of his HP off, wants to go for the the interrupt on the recall, but will not be able to cancel FBI in time. Thanatos with the Gnar bar charged, and the wave is about to crash into the tier 1 turret. C9 still want to make the play. Thanatos stepping up as Vulcan's ready to dive here with the Unbreakable Will. Nice CC coming through, but Palafox is still alive for now. C9 finally get enough damage to get the job done. Mega Gnar into the wall. Thanatos drops, though. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, they forced that real hard. Uses flash as well. They're still here, though. Blaber wants another round.
They're not done yet. Teleport coming in. They want to bring APA down to the party, get the Cassiopeia involved. Minion wave about to crash into the turret, and C9 is going to go right back in for a re-dive. Zven gets the kill. eXyu falls. Both of them go over to Zven. That's more of what C9 was wanting.
There they go. They repeat. They get the kills. Photon comes in way later with the teleport. The channel time here, I mean, it eventually arrives. He did push the extra wave in on top side, so denied a bit of minions there, but
yeah,
Cloud9 just gonna keep it up. All right, so they're the ones who teleport top lane down first. They wanted to make use of it. They go in. The flashes are used. That's why they delayed it so long for Dignitas. They use both of these flashes here, and Palafox is actually able to stay alive a fairly long time. In the end, Cloud9 do get him, but it costs the one for one there. So Viktor down, 4 Gnar being down, and then the repeat dive here, even with the teleport being channeled by Sion, is a lot later, is going to take a significant amount of time, and APA is already here. So you look at the minimap, now is when he changes over. Sion was recalling, changes it into the teleport, but play is already over. Minions move.
Nice, okay, nice, really good.
And ATP. And okay, right back to live, and we got ourselves another fight. Ignar barely hanging on here, down to about 250 HP as C9 make a move to invade the enemy jungle. You can see Blaber stealing the blue buff away from eXyu, and he's not done yet. Now he wants to play for a little bit of Gromp gaming, but Dignitas will force him back. eXyu will at least take the small camp.
Okay, trying to defend as much as they can for the jungle. Cloud9 now, in the past, for this series, we've had gold on one side, dragons on the other side. Now we've got gold and dragons on the same side, Flowers.
Feels really good for C9. Feels really bad for Dignitas, because now that next dragon is spawning just 30 seconds from now, as Vulcan tanking up here on the front lines, but C9 got to be careful. Rift Herald down to 3,000 HP, but a lot of burst into Vulcan. They might just be able to burn through the ultimate. Rift Herald secured by Blaber. Vulcan still incredibly low. Laser from Palafox doesn't quite have enough damage until Ignar shows up to guarantee it. Blaber hops in the Herald to try to get away. The rest of Dignitas still looking for more as they find the angle on the Zven, continue chasing, but Zven goes on a rampage and brings eXyu with him. It's a messy one up here in the topside river.
It is, and in order to calculate who's winning, you have to take into account the bottom side was pushing there for Thanatos, getting a lot of money in the solo lane for Cloud9, so you still see the gold number go up, and Blaber took the Rift Herald out. He used it both as an exit and to get the mid turret. So in the play, they got the turret. They're still going for a little bit of a fight up here. APA in the 2v1, but the extra kills go to Dignitas. It's still dragon number 3 for Cloud9. Plus they got the minions bomb side. Plus they got the turret in mid lane. So all in all, Cloud9 still kind of staying on their pathway to success here towards a very early Dragon Soul.
That is scary, scary stuff, man. That'll be a 21-minute Soul if they get the next one right when it spawns. Dignitas are going to have to find an answer for that one. Thanatos 1,500 gold ahead. Blaber the same. Let's take another look at how the Rift Herald fight went down here, because Vulcan soaked a lot of damage at the start.
Yeah, it does use the Alistar ultimate, so I'd say he can soak a lot, but he doesn't have flash, so when he's going towards the pier, doesn't want to go towards the Viktor ultimate. There's no way he's getting out anyway. And then Blaber pops the Herald for the easy exit. But look at the mini-map. Is a kind of interesting thing. Sion is walking right now. So Sion left the bot lane 1v1 with the Gnar. He probably wouldn't have a very good time in the bot lane 1v1 anyway, but he went over towards mid, so the Gnar got to keep pushing, and the Herald goes in on the tower down there. We're back to live.
Yeah, it just never stops. That's back-to-back replays. We're right back into another fight, and Palafox is right back into the grave. Third death here in this third game on the Viktor.
All right, Thanatos, 1.5. Wait a second. They're going to yoink this Gromp. Nothing that any of Dignitas can do, even though eXyu on buy was kind of on the other side, kind of hovering there. The map is just so hard to bring back under control, and you're just losing all of your turrets. You have no side lane pressure. The Gnar is just going to be so annoying here with all the speed, boots of swiftness.
Yeah.
Trinity Force done, as well as the extra mallet here too for Thanatos. So
fleet footwork on top of it.
yeah, it's just very difficult to keep them pinned down, and Cloud9 doing a very good job ballooning this gold lead with the 3 towers to them. Whoa, Thanatos just hopping right in onto them.
Yeah, Thanatos looking to make a play, but then immediately has to flash out to keep himself safe. However, Blaber arrives on the side of the fight, ready to keep things going. FBI and Ignar both getting away for now, but Vulcan is also still looking. Finds eXyu off to the side, but there's nobody else around on C9 to really continue doing a whole lot with it. Vulcan now cosplaying as a raptor, stuck inside the chicken pit, but the rest of C9 arrives. Gonna make sure they get their support out of there.
Wow, really trying to force super hard here for Cloud9. They can't get FBI. They get his ult, they get his flash, as well as Ignar's flash, but gonna have to retreat right back to the side lanes to get those pushing again. Attempt at the pick, unsuccessful, but you can see kind of the idea that they were going with there as Blaber was kind of coming down from the other side. Not able to find much of anything though, so they could just return to the easy plan. Push your side lanes in first. You've got all 3 outer towers down. Dignitas have no like safe area to traverse between, and so then you can set up another early move for yourselves.
Okay, APA finds himself in a bit of a compromised position here against Photon as eXyu swoops in. They need a little bit more burst damage to finish off the mid laner, and they get it done. Palafox even arrives to make sure that the money goes over to one of the carries. Nice pick from Dig.
Okay, teleport invested here for Dignitas, and they do leave open an extra lane, which Thanatos will dismantle shortly. But, like you say, getting the shutdown into the Viktor here. If they can get to 2 items, it's actually really good to have both the Leandries and the Deathfire, since you're against a lot of health stackers here with Gnar, Sejuani, and the Alistar.
Cassiopeia too. God of Ages.
Even Cassiopeia.
All right, C9
Whoa,
are
pretty early. Here we go.
Yeah, pretty early. It's 5 seconds after the thing spawned, and they're already going after it.
Can't be a lot earlier than that.
And it's pretty tough.
And I think it might even just go their way. Vi would have to just charge right in, queue over, maybe Photon. Even then, they don't have time.
Yeah, I really like this from C9. You've got Cassiopeia. You know you have so much Baron damage, so they just full send it and secure the Baron 20 minutes into the game. But now Dignitas is trying to take a fight on the back end of things. Photon soaking damage from the front line as Vulcan creates space for the rest of C9. Thanatos trying to get away for now. He has the Gnar bar charge, but he's so low on HP. FBI's already got the kill onto Vulcan. Nice petrifying gaze from APA to buy a little bit more time for C9 to try to escape. But Photon arrives into the back. He finds his way towards Zven. Decimating Smash not going to hit because the flash over the wall from the C9 AD carry. But Dignitas are going to get another one. That's Baron for C9 very early, but Dignitas kill 3.
Yeah, it's negative play already, and the big part is you have bounties on the map, so you can slingshot here for Dignitas, get some objective bounties afterwards. It is certainly not worth doing the Baron like that if you're going to give up 3 kills and control of the map. With the new season, the gold value from the Baron has been cut. The experience value has been cut, and objective bounties in the aftermath are going to go a long way for Dignitas. They are confident in their scaling. You have to be very careful about giving money back over to this team.
How about giving dragons over to this team? Not only was it the disaster of losing your Baron buffs, of losing the 3 kills, of then losing those objective bounties, but now Dignitas has control over the dragon. That 21-minute soul that I was talking about earlier, wave goodbye to that one. Dignitas secure the objective, and they even get everybody out.
For now.
For now, okay. Blaber looking to at least get some kind of a punish here. APA does plenty of damage on this Cassiopeia, but Photon is a very tanky boy. eXyu and FBI have to be concerned about Thanatos and Zven off to the left side of the fight here at the same time. Photon likely to fall. eXyu even lower. Stays alive for now, though, as they continue piling towards Photon. APA is going to take the kill on that one, but Zven also down. Palafox picking up a kill on the enemy AD carry.
I mean, 1 for 1, yeah, Cloud9 are trying to extend the play and chase them further. Can they get more than just the 1?
Yeah, it's looking like Blaber's got a great angle to hold these guys in position as APA flashes over the wall there, but the miasma FBI drops. Now Ignar is about to fall to the Twin Fangs as well. A double kill for APA. If he can get the 3rd one here, that's going to be so big, but no, Palafox stays alive.
Okay, wow, another extended play, another objective down, but the chase kills here for Cloud9 boost the gold back to being positive. after that play, and so the big thing they're losing out, of course, is the timer for the Dragon Soul that you were mentioning, but also just the further timer in the game. You've got, 2.5 items for FBI Xayah. You hit your 2 items, and you're stacking your Dark Seal there for the Viktor, for Palafox as well. So the carries, the danger here, threatening ones on the side of Dignitas, still making use of that time, of that money that goes their way. Cloud9 getting a little risky with it.
Yeah, well, Blaber's got every available toy in the Happy Meal in his inventory. He's got 3 good, cheap items already locked in there on that Sejuani. He was a big part of being able to run down Dignitas there, find more off the back end of that play. So we'll see if C9 can continue accelerating their way forward. Blaber goes in, finds the ulti, lands it onto FBI, but there's no follow-up damage here just yet. Palafox tanking a ton, finally drops. Ignar's got to be careful here, but meanwhile on the side of the fight, eXyu makes his way into the back line. Zven barely hanging on for now. Blaber also super low, but eXyu couldn't get his target.
Okay, I mean, they get the kill onto Palafox. Viktor down, one of the big carries out of there, and we're kind of right back on track, Flowers, for Cloud.
Yeah, it's like the last 5 minutes is gone.
It is a little later of a timer, but like objective bounties are back on the map because Cloud9 like re-increased their gold lead, get it back to where it was, and I don't know, I can't help but just like go over the succession of objectives that we just had, the couple of fights, like the rush from Cloud9 on the kind of dangerous timing with the Dragon Soul being so close and taking that big risk, leading to Dignitas getting it. But then also, Dignitas, they didn't have full DPS on the Dragon Soul as they make a catch.
Yeah, let's see if they can get this all the way there. eXyu sidesteps the Glacial Prison. Ignar still looking for an opportunity as Photon creates some space with the Decimating Smash. Dignitas managed to keep everybody alive. 90 seconds until Baron respawns, 2 minutes until another potential Dragon Soul for C9.
I mean, so Dignitas, we're going back in time through these objectives for the last 5 minutes or whatever to get to this point. They clearly didn't feel the extra pressure of like burning that dragon quickly, because they just had the Vi and the Sion on it, and they didn't have other members. They were just kind of dealing with the minion waves instead, and that kind of allowed Cloud9 to extend the play, get the chase down, a couple more kills, then like rebuff up the gold lead. And so now we're back into another spot here where we're going to come down. It's only a minute until the next Dragon Soul opportunity. I still think Dignitas definitely have some winnable setups for them, even being down now 5,000 gold heading into this one, because they have the 2.5 items on both of their carries with like the half penetrations. It's just that now it's harder because they did give over all the extra kills to Cloud9. That was enough money to fund the full 3 atom power spikes for APA and Zven, and a full Lord Doms definitely goes a long way. These rockets are going to be very painful, and Cassio, as you mentioned, is like kind of tanky, as well as putting out a very big amount of damage now and having the 2-level lead as well for the time being. Definitely goes a long way for Cloud9. So they're once again feeling very good about the setup for a Dragon Soul fight. See if they can bring this one home.
Well, critically, FBI just completed his Lord Dominic's regards.
Okay,
so
there you go.
3 full items for the Xayah could be the difference that Dignitas needs, but it's C9 first to the bot side river as the Dragon has spawned. Dignitas on the approach. Thanatos with the full Gnar bar ready to go. Not going to find an angle for entry here just yet as C9 already begin DPS onto the objective. There's Thanatos, goes in for the Mega Gnar, doesn't find a whole lot of value, instead has to retreat back to the tier 1 turret, but he's made enough space for the rest of C9 to secure the Dragon Soul. Now Photon and Ignar are in trouble. The Rakan, very low, down to 20% HP, but it's Thanatos who falls to FBI. Ignar stays alive for now. Meanwhile, Dignitas is fighting on multiple fronts. APA trying to keep himself safe from eXyu, puts plenty of damage back into the Vi, forces the flash away. Zven walks right up, face checks the brush, still gets the kill on the Photon and somehow stays alive. Zven is still fighting and kiting as APA goes on a rampage and FBI falls. Blaber continues the chase. It's only Ignar and Palafox, and the Viktor is almost completely out of mana. C9 wants to finish this. They want to ace him, and they'll get all 5.
And they do. Wow, Thanatos with the sacrifice distraction play Look, he jumps into the back line to go straight and put pressure onto Viktor, and trying to get FBI a little bit here, and does get the pullback, just not into the wall in FBI, but it does get it onto Palafox, and then they get the Mikhails. And Thanatos' whole plan, he had his flash ready to go right to the turret, so flash going in, distract away the carries so that his team can still get the dragon and get the dragon soul. So even though he's the one that goes down, FBI had to flash to get that blade collar pull onto him, and he created so much time to allow Cloud9 to get the dragon soul. Very good distraction and kind of threat pulling play from Thanatos. And the scramble afterwards, Flowers, after the battle lines are completely mixed up.
Oh, this is scuffed.
Yep, completely mixed up battle lines, completely scuffed, and yet very profitable for Cloud9, for Zven himself. So now with the soul, with the Baron, Flowers, they return to finish the job.
Yeah, this is a very convincing game state for C9. 8,000 gold ahead, Dragon Soul in inventory, wearing Baron as Ignar tries to go in, immediately finds the quickness, but there's no follow-up damage, and Ignar is already down. Blaber might just die to the turret here, but C9 doesn't have damage to kill it before Blaber falls. FBI looking for these auto attacks, but again, C9 has mostly fully retreated. APA still off to the right side of the fight, just in case Dignitas overchase. But C9, they get a kill, they take down the tier 3 turret, they got what they came for.
Yeah, Blaber goes for his empowered recall, and since he's a spellbook user, teleports right back to the play.
With a brand new, shiny, unending despair to go with it. C9 still 5 alive in the enemy base. Top lane inhibitor down. Palafox does find a good little bit of burst there onto Zven, but nothing that truly threatens a lethal situation. Dignitas still looking, seeing if they can catch anybody on the retreat here, but C9 seems to have got away safe.
APA.
Vulcan immediately headbutt pulverized right in on top of eXyu, and the Vi is already down. Vulcan will die here to the decimating smash, but the rest of C9 has arrived on the right side of the fight, and FBI has to kite. He gets himself all the way back into the base, but Photon has to die to cover his escape. Dignitas will end up losing to jungler and top laner out of the picture. The front line is gone.
Cloud9 again with a long kind of play there. They stick around extra to be able to get the extra kills right outside of the fog of war, outside of the vision of Dignitas. And immediate teleport again, this time from APA down to the bottom side to keep the pushing up. Try and get as many towers afterwards as they possibly can. Baron empowered minions going to help him do that. Thanatos keeps the pressure on top side, and Cloud9 continue to close in.
And it's only a single auto attack that'll be required to kill that tier 3 turret in the mid lane. You can see it's got a bunch of crust on it. It's only standing at 5% HP to begin with, so things are going to get worse before they get better for Dignitas as Zven takes out the tier 3, starts putting the auto attacks into the mid lane inhibitor. That one's not going to stand much longer. Thanatos walks over to guarantee that they can force that down. So now it's only bottom lane still standing with the inhib intact for Dignitas. Photon back alive now. Dig has all 5 men, but they've really only got one more chance, one last fight if they want to try to make their stand here. Thanatos with an R-bar charge. It's Dignitas full sending after Zven, but Vulcan's doing a good job peeling for his AD carry. The Corki not under any true threat as the Nexus turrets fall. The first is already out of the picture. The second will be the next target. Baron empowered minions already in position here as Dignitas have to run back into the fountain, try to get whatever healing they can, but the base is quickly evaporating. C9 going for their series-ending push right here. Photon and Palafox trying to stand and defend. eXyu also bursted low. Zven goes on a rampage and Palafox falls. Photon will be a double kill for the Corki as FBI at least gets some damage back. He's trying to outfight this, but Thanatos is done. He will end the game, take the Nexus. C9 win the series 2-1.
Yeah, a little spicy flash with the blade collar at the end there. Or didn't even have to use the flash, but Thanatos says, oh, okay, we're going to hit Nexus now. Getting a little dicey, and Cloud9 will finish it.